what's outside of the earth? We spent the whole year looking at things in the earth. What's outside of the earth? And we call that space. And the study of space is called astronomy. The first thing I need you to understand is that space is really, really big, way bigger than the earth. And most of us think that the earth is really big, and it is. Look at this picture. We've got an elephant and a giraffe. We consider those to be big animals, but we compare them to the biggest mammal on earth. The blue whale is huge. But we know humans can build things bigger than that. A jet is huge compared to a whale. We could put a whale inside of a jet. Look at these trees in California. They're called giant redwoods. But we can zoom out even further. Here you see the plane, which was huge, the tree, which was huge, now looks small compared to something like the pyramids in Egypt or the Eiffel Tower in France. Well, Deimos is a moon that goes around Mars, another planet. And you can see it's only about as big as one of our mountains. So it's a very small moon. When we go out even further, we see that that moon looks tiny compared to the state of Rhode Island, which is the United States' smallest state. We go even further, and Rhode Island is tiny compared to California or Texas. Think how many of those giant redwood trees are in California. And now we're seeing all sorts of moons around the solar system. We see Pluto, which used to be a planet. It's not a planet anymore. And we see that one of the reasons Pluto is not a planet is too small, because planets are bigger. Mars, Venus, Earth. The Earth is actually pretty big compared to a lot of moons around the solar system. These are 4 really big moons around Jupiter. And they are big, but not as big as the Earth. And there's what it would look like if we could put all the planets right next to each other. Mars, we have a rover there right now that's taking pictures. They flew a helicopter on Mars the other day. First time ever. Look at Mars, it has ice at the top, just like Earth. I'll tell you more about that next week. And we call these first planets, we call them the terrestrial planets. They're smaller and they are rocky. They're made of, they have a core, like we learned about. And then the 4 that are out further away are called the gas giants. They're made of gas, air, but their air is different than ours. We cannot breathe it. And they're so big and they spin so fast that they would crush us. The air would push down and smash us. And these planets are very different from the Earth. But they're not even big. The sun is huge compared to the planets. Look at Earth, it's a tiny little dot compared to the sun. Why is it small in our sky? Because it's so far away. And so it looks tiny. But it's not, it's huge. Even Jupiter, you could fit inside of the sun 1,000 times. But the sun is actually a relatively small star. It's not the biggest star. There are stars way bigger. These are called giants. But there's even stars bigger than giants. They're called supergiants. There's one called Betelgeuse. Antares is one of the biggest stars we know. And look, the sun is now almost invisible. Space is so big, and we are so small. It shows you zooming out the sun, a blue giant, a red supergiant, and then Antares. That's how big things are in space compared to us on Earth. As if we look really far into space, or we look really small into our hand with like a microscope, we see patterns. It's the same. See, this is the universe, all the stars and galaxies tied together. This is inside of our brain. It looks the same. This is a new cell splitting. It's called mitosis. And this is what happens when a star dies. It's the same pattern. This is an eye. And it's pretty when you look at an eye up close. This is a cloud of gas in space. And it looks like an eyeball. Really big, really small. But they're the same. And that's the universe that we live in. Okay, that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow for some more. Bye, Zoom.